Hi food friends, it's Kevin, and behind the camera,
Marianne.
How you doing? And you know what? We are continuing our Lenten special here. We did a great tuna casserole last time. This time, we're not doing anything with seafood, but we are keeping it Lent friendly. In other words, meatless, and we're doing a spinach lasagna. So what we're going to do here is start with the sauce. Honey, you can come on in and get this. I put a little olive oil at the bottom of our saucepan. Now, I'm not making a huge pan of lasagna, but what I'm going to do is I'm putting some garlic in here, maybe about 2 or 3 cloves. We like it garlicky. And like I said, I've just got a little bit of olive oil in there. As soon as the garlic starts to kind of sizzle, and you can start to smell it when the oils from the garlic start to come up, then you know what? There it is. That's as far as I take it, because you don't want to burn the garlic. And then I'm going to add in a can of tomato puree here. And a little can of tomato sauce. I've got a can of San Marzano tomatoes in basil. And put those in there. And then we've got a tomato paste here. And if I can find my little spatula, we'll get this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to let the sauce cook for, an hour or so. A lot of people kind of have this thing where the sauce has got to simmer for hours and hours and days. And you know what? That's fine. I usually don't have time to do that, so I make a little quicker sauce. But I think it's good. You know what? But you don't have to use my sauce. You can use whatever sauce you like. You might already have a great sauce recipe. Most people do. There may be a prepared sauce that you like to use, and by all means do it that way. I like making my own sauce, so here's what else I'm going to put in. I've got some chopped dehydrated onion here. We're going to put that in there. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon maybe of Italian seasoning, which is basil, oregano, a few other little things. I'm going to put in some black pepper and just a pinch of salt. I'm also going to put in a vegetable bouillon cube. That kind of just gives the flavor a little depth, I think. So, in that goes. So, I'm going to keep an eye on this, get it stirred up. I want those San Marzano tomatoes to start to break down, and they will as the sauce cooks. So, once the sauce is ready, then we'll start putting our lasagna together. And basically, we're going to have 3 different cheeses. We've got mozzarella, ricotta, and parmesan. We got an egg that we're going to mix with our ricotta cheese and our spinach. And I am using just regular lasagna noodles. I love these, by the way. I was a little skeptical at first. These are noodles you don't have to boil, but they're awesome. The key is you need, a good fair amount of moisture in the lasagna with the sauce, so that they will soften up. But they're kind of parboiled already. They're great. Obviously, if you have fresh pasta, that's great to use, or maybe you like the ones with the little curled edges that you boil. Go ahead and use them. I've been a total convert to these no-boil lasagnas. So we're going to keep working on the sauce, and once that's ready, we'll come on back and then we'll start putting our spinach lasagna for Lent together. So, see you in a bit. Okay, so this has been cooking for an hour, and we had some whole San Marzanos in there, and you can see, honey, see how they've broken down. So what I sort of did is, as I stir the pot, I kind of squish the tomatoes up against the side. But the nice thing about that is it gives a little texture to the sauce. I'm just going to give it a little. Very good. I'm going to put just a pinch of sugar in it. And I think we're good to go. I'm going to take that off. Okay. All right, so our sauce is ready. Now, we've got our cheeses out. First thing, I've had this sort of sitting out for a while to thaw. It's not completely defrosted, so what I'm going to do is we're going to get this in the microwave and get the spinach just so that it's thawed out. It doesn't have to be really hot, but I want to make sure that all the ice crystals are out. Then we're going to wring it out, and then we'll start putting everything together. So we're going to get our spinach thawed, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we put the spinach in for about a minute and a half or so. So here it is. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. I found the easiest is I just get a clean towel. This is like a flour sack, and we're gonna put my spinach in there like that. Come over to the sink and just squeeze. It's a lot of water in this spinach, and the drier the better. Okay, then we just come on back, and there it is. Okay. Now, so we've got our spinach, and we're going to take our ricotta cheese. This is a 15-ounce container. This is just wonderful. Don't you love this cheese, honey?
Yes, I do.
It's very creamy, isn't it?
Yes. It's good on toast.
It's great. Yeah, it is. Real good on toast. So we've got our cheese. We're going to put an egg in here. This will sort of help without the shell. This will sort of help the everything sort of bind together a little bit. And then, of course, we need to season. So let's put in some salt, and let's put in some pepper. So we're going to just mix this together. I find the spatula works really well here because when we squeeze that spinach dry, it kind of compacted, and we sort of want to bring it back around to little pieces so that it really incorporates in with the cheese. There. See how that's coming around? So we're just gonna, I think that's good and mixed. Okay. So we've got our ricotta cheese, spinach mix, we've got our Parmesan, we've got our mozzarella, we've got our, I'm using a 9x13 baking dish. You might have a lasagna pan, which could be bigger. When we make this for church, we use big pans, but anyways, I'm going to use this. I'm going to give this a quick spray. Okay, so here we go. So we start with our sauce. We're going to put some sauce just on the bottom of the pan, sort of a barrier between that first layer. Okay, so here's the great thing about these no-boil noodles. We're just going to lay these in. You can kind of crack them to whatever size you want. And I sort of, because honestly, this will all bake together when everything is in the oven. So, all right, so let's take a scoop of our cheese and spinach mix. And we're just going to kind of spread this over our noodles here. And it's, you know, don't be afraid to get your hands a little dirty with this dish in particular. But trust me, it will be worth a little bit of the mess on your fingers. Okay? So, okay, we've got ourselves a layer of ricotta and spinach. Now, we're going to take a handful of mozzarella, and we're going to put that in here as well. This is a 1 pound bag. Okay. Then we're going to take our Parmesan, and we're going to put that in there. Then, there we go. We're going to put in a little sauce. Just enough to kind of keep it moist. And again, this sauce is what really helps these noodles bake down and get nice and tender. So, I'm going to lay this in again here. I'm going to overlap these this time, and then we're just going to crack one in half for that. Okay. And we do it again. So we start with our nice big scoop of our ricotta mixture. And on they go. How you digging the music, honey?
It's lovely.
I was looking for some Italian stuff maybe to go with the lasagna, but I couldn't put my finger on it real quick. So anyways, this is Ted Heath and Edmundo Roos. Okay. So here's another layer of our spinach ricotta mixture. Mozzarella. Parmesan. Okay, and so on and so on. We're going to keep going till we run out of noodles. So when I get to the top layer, we'll come back and we'll get it ready to go in the oven. Okay, we've got 4 layers here with the 3 cheeses and the sauce. So this is the top of the 4th layer. We're going to, as we've been doing, put a little sauce on the layer here. And then we're gonna put on, I think of it as our cover layer. So we're gonna just put that there. So this will be So this is the top layer, and really the only thing that goes on the top layer then is just we're going to put a little sauce, and then of course we'll have this extra sauce to ladle on top of the lasagna when we're serving. We've preheated the oven to 350 degrees. We're going to take the rest of our mozzarella and we're going to put that on top here. Just all that good cheese. We're going to take the rest of our Parmesan and we're going to sprinkle that on top. There we go. Now this dish does need to be covered, so we will foil here and cover it up. You want to bake this for about, at 350, about 50 minutes at 350 degrees. And then of course when you take it out, you need to let it rest because all those cheeses are still kind of fluid and you want them to sort of stiffen up a little bit so it'll be easier to cut and serve. Okay, in it goes. We'll see everybody back in about 50 minutes or so, okay? About 50 minutes has passed and it smells wonderful. And we're going to take this out and kind of let it set up a little bit. Watch the foil, it's going to be hot. Oh, whoop. Oh. There it is. Can you get a shot of that, babe?
Yeah.
Okay. So, there it is. We're going to let that cool. Maybe we'll come back when we actually cut into it. So we're going to let this sort of sit and set up for, probably about 10 or 15 minutes or so. Okay, and then we'll come right back. So, we've let it sit for, almost 15 minutes now. And here it is. This is our spinach lasagna. Now, I'm gonna cut a piece. First piece is always a little tricky, but I do like the corners. And there it is. Isn't that beautiful? Spinach lasagna. We're going to put a little extra sauce on the top. We got a nice salad, a little lambrusco, and it's all good. So, it's a Lenten special, spinach lasagna. Thanks for being a part of this one. We'll see you next time. Bye!